We figured it out, didn't we?
I didn't. You give it a shot.
I feel like for 1 second you did. No, I guess maybe we didn't.
There you go.
The next song is going to play.
No, I bet it won't.
I bet it will.
No, I bet it won't.
I bet it will.
I went
$1.
Okay, Eli. We're here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
We're whispering, which is something I hate to do because we're outside in a public place.
I wouldn't call this whispering.
To me, this is whispering.
Okay.
First of all, what's your name?
Eli.
Come on. Eli what?
Eli Cordova.
And
Cordova.
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 Cordova. Okay.
Yeah.
And if someone says it Eli Cordova, they're doing it wrong, or?
No, I mean, I don't really care.
Okay, good. You were in Marfa.
Yeah.
You had a great time. You were like returning hero.
Sure.
And now you're back in LA. You were depressed for a month.
I was very depressed for a month.
But you're back in action.
Back in action.
And I told you that I thought your voice is lower now than I think it would have been a year ago.
Yes.
Why? Like, I know why, but what's the big story? Why?
What's the big story?
Yeah.
The big story?
Big picture.
Big picture. Big picture is that I am a trans guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's born female, identify male.
Mm-hmm.
Been on testosterone now for about 110 days.
Mm-hmm. And that's only one of the many big transformations and changes you've gone through, because the other one, and there's more than this even, but there's one where you're in Los Angeles now.
Yeah.
When I met
7 months ago, I was in Marfa.
Yeah, big
Living.
7 months though. It's been a big 7 months.
It's been a big 7 months.
And how were you discovered? Do you know the story? I don't know if it's Lana Turner, but this legendary Los Angeles story about someone being discovered in a malt shop, and she, gets discovered and says, "We need you in pictures," and she comes a big actress. Have you never heard of that one?
Never heard of that one.
Okay. Well, I don't even know if it's true. But
I've heard a lot about like supermodels discovered in like malls.
Yeah, that's the modern version of
Modern version, yeah.
So how were you discovered?
I was discovered because I was working in a coffee shop in Marfa called Frama.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this big TV crew in town filming a pilot. Mm-hmm. And I had a month before written a short story about snow. And they saw it up on a bulletin board at the coffee shop.
Well, it was about your childhood.
It's about my childhood. It was about snow. It's called Sad Childhood Snow Story by Eli.
Right. What a great title.
That was you. You gave me that title.
I was going to say, you almost don't need to read the poem.
Yeah. You gave me. I think at first it was just Sad Childhood Snow Story, and then you were like, no, the title is Sad Childhood Snow Story by Eli.
So after I left, because I saw the poem, after I left, you must have posted on the wall or something?
I think it kind of like made the rounds at the coffee shop. Like people were sort of like passing it around. It would like end up on different tables, and then eventually I just like put it up on the bulletin board.
Right. And how did you get the idea of self-publishing your works? Well, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you recommended to someone like you should self-publish your works, they'll think, well, I got to get it bound at a publisher.
Right.
But what you did is no different at all than self-publishing, and in fact, it worked.
Yeah.
You just put it on the wall.
So it was snowing. It was December. It was snowing in Marfa, and you know John Patrick?
No, who's he?
He owns the shop in Marfa called Community.
I don't even...
It's where where Comida Futura used to be.
Okay.
He's like in the fashion world. He's like sort of a big fashion designer. He's been making clothes for like years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Some sweaters. He came into the coffee shop and said something about how he didn't like the snow. This is why he came to Texas, trying to get away from it. And I told him the story about when I was like 5 years old and living in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, you should write that down."
Oh, that's where it started.
That's where it started. And so I did. I typed it actually in my notes on my iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I typed it up, and then we have a printer at the coffee shop, and I just printed it out.
And the I Love Dick people, the TV people came.
The TV people came. I guess they found it when they were scouting Marfa as a location, like before they actually even started filming the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody saw it up on the bulletin board and read it and really liked it. And so then when they came back to shoot the pilot, they wanted to meet with me.
But yeah, still though, there's a big gap between saying we like your poem and come to Los Angeles. As I recall, they wanted to use it.
They wanted to use it. They wanted to write it into I'm not sure how much of this I'm allowed to say because of, unreleased TV show.
Oh, you're in the
maybe?
big league.
No, it's just like.
Let me just tell you, man. Just the idea that you have secrets is like just shows how cool you've become.
Well,
I have no secrets.
I think I can say that they were interested in my story, thought that it could make a good addition to their TV show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so
is it gonna?
It's not.
Just blink your eyes twice if they're gonna use your poem.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's unclear.
Is it still possible that
still possible that they could use a poem? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I sort of signed over the rights to the story.
Well,
or
anyway,
something like that.
That was 7 months ago.
That was 7 months ago.
But the last 7 months, as an outsider to your life, I shouldn't say an outside, meaning I'm not in your head or your body, but it's just the changes to me as a friend have been huge. And not everything kind of easily identifiable, but you do seem just kind of like an older, different person, but by years.
I am an older, different person.
But not by months, by years.
Right.
Were you happy to leave your hometown? Some people would think like, oh, that's made me sad, I'm homesick.
I am homesick. I am really homesick.
You're homesick from Marfa?
Yeah, absolutely. I miss it like every day.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you miss?
I miss being able to go to the coffee shop and knowing exactly who I'm going to see and who I'm going to talk to. And friendly faces, people saying hello on the street. People in LA don't even look at you.
Hey, let's go back a little bit. So when I met you, you were...
I was like 17, Oslo.
No, I would never meet a... You must have been 18.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's where I draw the line. You were Kamuda Futura.
Yes.
You were Eileen.
I was Eileen, yeah.
You did a little... Instead of poems, you did a science fact. On the
I did science facts with Eileen. Yeah. Were
you absolutely miserable then because you couldn't tell the world you were,
I was doing this, like gay guys. I'm thinking more specifically like maybe like a rich white Republican gay man who's in the closet and it's so gay bashes, right?
Right.
And is just like kind of maybe tries to be like a womanizer, tries to be like the complete opposite. Yeah, he tries to compensate.
Overcompensate.
Right, which is what I was doing. I call that my like high femme stage of life. I think I actually if you look at pictures of me from that time, I wear a lot of dresses and a lot of makeup.
Right.
And I kind of was just overcompensating. Yeah, I was being like as femme as I could to try to snap myself out of it, I think.
But were you to use like the fairy tale version, but deep down he's very, very sad kind of?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And how did the recognition on your part of what was going on and then the dealing with it all take place? Because it happened pretty within a year?
Well, I mean, in the public eye, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, behind the scenes,
let's take us behind the scenes.
So behind the scenes, I think I've in my dreams I'm a guy, and that's been happening for as long as I can remember. And so I think that I started like actually paying attention to that when I was maybe like around 10.
Okay.
Of just like, I never really thought of this before, but how come in my dreams I'm like a dude? I'm like very masculine. So I've been dealing with that forever. And then I went away to college, and
I remember.
I did. I went away to college, and I got...
Where'd you go?
I went to Texas A&M in Corpus Christi.
Okay, which is basically not the place I would have seen.
Not the place for me at all.
Okay.
It was miserable. I ended up in this like really weird relationship with this guy who just wanted me to be like super femme all the time.
Wow.
I mean, like, like always wanted like my legs shaved, always want like just clean, pristine female.
I just want to tell you, as someone who's lived in Los Angeles a while, that's not considered super femme to like shave your legs, but
I think it's. I mean,
it's femme.
It's femme. It's femme.
Guys
But it was
don't
like, you know,
it's
like
standard femme.
Yeah. It's standard femme. That's fair. But maybe like always wanted me to be wearing dresses and skirts and heels and makeup and.
And definitely more, I'm getting more femme than you felt comfortable with.
Way more femme than I felt comfortable with, yeah. And so I think I was just kind of like, oh, I can't live like this.
It turned on a light.
It turned on a light. It did. It turned on a light. Thank you to him.
So I saw you when you got back from that. And then I went away for a while. I couldn't have been away for like 6 months. And I came back and you said, my name is Eli. And
Krista gave me that name.
Oh, congratulations to Krista.
Yeah, great name.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, so how did Krista get presented? How did that happen? I was out of town.
I came out to her at work.
Was she the first person?
She was not the first person, no. No, she was not the first. She wasn't even like the first adult. But she was like a close second or third.
Right. She was the first namer.
She was the first namer, yeah. And yeah, and so she asked me if she wanted everyone at work to use male pronouns, and I was like, oh, that would be amazing, yeah. And then I think it was a little it was a little hard for people, I think, because I still had the name Eileen, which is sort of like it almost makes me mad. That
you were born with that name?
No, that I had to change the name to fit into, you know, people's idea of the gender binary. I actually really love the name Eileen.
Yeah.
And I
have two things to say about that. One, if you're gonna be mad, then you're got to be mad at the whole world and all of history.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That's what I'm mad at.
But two,
I'm absolutely not mad at Krista for giving me.
Yeah,
the
no,
name.
I was gonna say, but two, there are people. You know, people have names that go both directions. I'm thinking. Just yesterday, someone told me about Kim Philby, who is he was a double agent, the most notorious double agent of the Cold War in England and the Soviet Union. But his name is Kim, and he had a friend whose name was Leslie, and those were just names.
Yeah, they're just names.
Yeah,
agreed.
But anyway, Eli works.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I'll ask you the standard questions. Did it take great courage and a huge, undertaking to tell your parents and all the rest of the world, or was it?
It doesn't really feel that way. No. It just kind of felt like something I just needed to do.
Okay, so
it didn't feel like a big deal.
Okay, so let's say that when you were Eileen, the standard femme, there were clouds in the sky, and deep down you were very sad.
Yeah.
What happened and how fast after you announced to the world that you were trans? Did the clouds dissipate and you became not deep down sad?
I think that didn't happen until I moved to LA.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like this instant, because you read about that sometimes.
No.
There wasn't an instant revelation and transformation.
No, it was hard. It was hard because I was still in this, around all of these people who knew me before, who knew me since I was like 14,
And also, to use the word that's making its rounds now, life isn't binary. So it wasn't like, I am yes and I've stopped being no,
right.
Or there were clouds and now there's a light bulb.
Right.
There's a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Let me move aside. So transgender stuff is, besides being real and meaningful, is also a fad and making a lot of magazine covers.
Sure.
What is not making a lot of magazine covers, but is much more important, is what do you do when you have a friend who's twice your age, who's going to die like when you're 30 years old? And I'm thinking about me.
Yeah. Wait, how old are you, Asa?
I'm 51.
You're 51?
Yeah.
Okay.
How old are you?
21.
Okay, so I'll die when you're 35. Let's just say that.
You're a healthy guy.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Well, not as healthy as you.
I mean, just 30 minutes ago you did 2 handstands.
Yeah, I used to be able to do, I could be talking to you right now doing a handstand. So my body has, in fact, atrophied.
Okay.
So are you afraid of old friends? Or
Yeah,
you,
I think about it I think about it a lot.
What do you think? Like I should find younger friends?
No,
Or I should just kill them and get it over with?
I think that I would rather die before them.
Oh, huh. I mean, by accident or just like...
By accident, yeah.
Okay.
Like, get hit by a bus.
Because I would feel bad if, in an effort not to feel sad about me dying, you just killed yourself.
I don't think I could do that.
Let's play
no.
with that idea. Like, how would you do it? Would you walk in front of a bus, or
How would I
you...
kill myself?
Yeah.
I think a train. I used to have a dream where I would I used to have this like really fucked up dream where I would just like walk up to this moving train and just kind of like stick my hand out, and like just as my fingers were touching the train, I would wake up.
Right. Before you moved to Marfa, you had that dream? No, that's a Marfa dream, if ever.
That's a Marfa dream. That's a Marfa dream.
Isn't that why? Yeah. When I first got to Marfa, to me, the train,
it's a scary train.
Well, it is scary. I always thought of it like the river, like the Mississippi. Like, it's really dangerous. You don't want to mess around there. But if you're really brave, you can like jump on it and end up in like, Brazil or something.
Yeah.
But it had much more meaning to me after I moved to Marfa than before.
Agreed. I don't know. I don't know that I would actually. I'm not sure. I don't know how I would do it.
You're saying you are not convinced right now that you would kill yourself to protect you from my age.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Right. And I'm not.
That doesn't sound like something I would do.
Well, you're not the only. I'm not the only friend you have who's.
That's true.
Older.
That's true.
How many friends do you have
that are older?
Yeah.
Or
that are my age.
I think quite a few. Yeah.
I was going to say that seems like kind of a Marfa thing, because people, one of the things I love about the place, it's becoming less true, but is it just mixes people around, rich, poor, old, young, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the thing is that right now in LA, I only have like 2 friends who are my age, and I'm sort of dating both of them, so I don't really know if that counts.
I don't even know if I want to know. But I do want to know.
I mean, I don't know if that counts.
Are they aware that you're kind of dating both of them?
They're aware that I'm not exclusively dating either of them.
So what does being transgender or coming out, if anything, have to do with your what's now called sexual orientation, but basically who you like? What does it mean? What, for example?
Are you asking me like if I changed my sexual orientation?
What is it? Has it changed, and is there any type of standard for transgender people?
There is no standard. Okay. I think for anyone.
It changes from person to person.
Yeah, everyone's different. Everybody likes different people. The technical term of my sexuality is pansexual.
Well, that I'm going to tell you, it is not a technical term, but is a term of art. So pansexual meaning whoever you like, you like.
Yeah. I don't care what's in your pants. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to me, sexuality is not just a question of who you like. It's like, when it comes to food, there's what tastes good, but also like what gives you like the power after you eat it too, so to speak. Like steaks or
Right.
I mean, that means you are equivalently attracted to all types, or that just what does it mean? I'm obviously a little lost.
I mean, it really just means that I am attracted to anyone that I'm attracted to, no matter what's in their pants, no matter how they identify.
And did you know that when you...
Oh yeah, I've always been. Yeah. I mean, I guess back in the day I used to call myself like bisexual.
Right.
But,
Yeah, which is actually not a helpful word either.
Yeah, no.
So these 2 people in Marfa, do they know about each other?
In LA.
Oh, they're in LA.
They're in LA. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say, because you were doing something that's a masterpiece of work. If you could have 2 people in Marfa who don't know about each other.
There are a couple people in Marfa that I am extremely interested in, but I'm not there. It's hard.
Okay. LA, it's a little easier.
It's a little easier, yeah.
Before I forget,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the testosterone.
Yeah.
So I told you this is the drug that I want. I wanted like a big pill, like the size of like a cookie, and it would be Adderall, Botox, testosterone
In one.
and maybe like a little teeny bit of LSD, but just so just so I don't feel like I'm walking in the same world as everyone
microdosing.
else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm walking in a cloud, and I'd like that like in a morning like chocolate chip cookie form. So I'm not.
You like chocolate chip cookies in the morning?
With coffee.
With
I'm
coffee.
trying to get away from sugar and caffeine a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. Anyway, that's a different talk. I was just in my mind. I was like, should we talk about
Should we
this?
talk
now?
about the chocolate chip
Let's
cookie?
dismiss it. Okay, but of those, you're not doing Adderall.
I'm not doing Adderall.
Have you ever done it?
I think I've had it once or twice.
Okay, so not a big deal.
No, not a big deal. I'm not doing Botox.
You do coffee.
I do coffee.
But the bigger one is starting 3 months ago or 100 days ago?
3 months, about 110 days.
You started taking testosterone.
I did.
Now, the reason I'm interested in testosterone is because I've only read about it, and I've only read like the versions which say it's like the miracle drug. It'll instantly become more powerful than a locomotive.
I don't think that's true.
Because there's never been anything in your life. There was never some food you ate that made you feel that way, or some drug you took, and you inject it.
I do into my leg, like upper
See,
thigh.
the way I see it, right off the bat, the fact that you can just start sticking yourself.